Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we're going to do a review on the Kubota BX2380. We've owned this tractor just about 4 years. Another month or two, it'll be 4 years since we purchased it. We did buy it new, and it has just under 500. I'm gonna call it a 500-hour review, but we're sitting about 490 hours right now. This was on my mind, so I figured we'd do a review on this tractor now. The main thing we use this tractor for is mowing grass. Other maintenance, you see I have a cargo carrier on the back. I use that for all sorts of things, moving firewood in the winter, in the summer, just really anything needs carried around. A lot of times we'll get this tractor out and we'll move it. We use it a lot more than I expected. We put about 125 hours a year on it, which is more than I thought we would. It's been a very good tractor. The only attachment we got for it was we got a 60-inch motor deck. So I didn't get the loader or a loader valve. I figured I didn't need. I have the loader on the bigger Kubota, so I figured I didn't need a loader on this. And so far, I haven't really missed that. I believe this comes in about 19 PTO horsepower. I'd have to look at the specs for sure, but I think it's right around 19. I know mowing grass, it's had plenty of power. I haven't had any issues with that. Even mowing thick grass off some of our steep hills, power-wise, it's been very good. There is a 2680 that's about 3 horsepower more. So far, I have not regretted getting the 23 horsepower, or the 2380, I should say. So it's been a good tractor. Probably the only option I added to this that's probably uncommon for a tractor this size is rear remote hookups. So I added two rear remotes, and really, I just did that I don't have a top and tilt kit on the 3-point hitch or anything. I did that. I can use it to move the sickle mower around easily, and then it's been a couple little odds and ends I hooked it up for. That was not a requirement, but the upfront cost was not much, and it's been useful. It's been pretty handy to have. So I did mention we purchased this new. We did have one issue with it right up front that was covered under warranty, and that was this rear gear case. It's gonna be hard to see, but you can see the yellow handle for the transmission dipstick and then the black cover for the PTO. But that rear case that goes right around the rear PTO, there was a very small hydraulic leak there. I guess the RTV, or when they sealed it at the factory, it didn't seal perfectly. So after mowing or after using the tractor, you'd get and then let it sit overnight, you'd get a small 2-3 drips of oil on the floor. So I cleaned it a couple times just to make sure that there wasn't something spilled from topping off the transmission fluid, and it was leaking. I couldn't tell where it was coming from. So I did take it in. They put a special dye in the fluid and checked it overnight and sealed that back up, and I've had no issues with it since. So that's the only real issue I've had with this. And like I said, it was covered easily under warranty. As far as fuel consumption, this tractor does extremely well, at least I think. It uses, I'd say on average, about a half gallon an hour for everything. If you use it on a high horsepower demand task or so, I think it's used up to about 7/10, 3/4 of a gallon an hour. But I believe that's the highest I've seen it use. I do keep track of just pretty much every tank full. My fuel tank there has a cheap gallon meter on it, so I keep track of what I put in every tank, and then kind of just get an hour usage, or a fuel usage, I should say, on it. So I do keep track of it. But yeah, fuel usage I've been very happy with, and that's part of the reason we use it so much. Some things we'd use the front loader on the bigger tractor, we now use this cargo carrier on the back of this just because it's so easy on fuel. So as far as that, it's been a great little machine. It has a small 3-cylinder diesel in it. It's a D9000, or I'd have to look at the exact specs, but it's a diesel this Kubota's had around a while. It's a reliable engine. It's been good. All right, in case anyone was wondering on the engine specs, I was wrong on the D9000. It is a D902. But there you go. If anyone wants to pause that and look at the specs on the engine. PTO RPM is up around, say, 3,200 or so. I rarely run it that high. If I'm in if I'm in very heavy material mowing or something else, I'll get up around 3,000, maybe close to the 3,200. But for the most part, I do most of my mowing around 2,800 or so. It does very well at that RPM. It does have it's pretty standard controls, at least for a Kubota. It has the mid PTO option, which is where this is at here. And if you move it down to the middle here, it'll engage both a mid and the rear PTO, and then the bottom here is just a rear PTO. And then the lever here beside it, that's what actually engages the PTO. On this side, you have your 3-point hitch, raise and lower, the 2 levers for the rear remotes, 4-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive, and then your high-low transmission ranges. Pretty basic controls. Like I said, this has been a good tractor. Just to show you the hours on it, we're at 490.3 right now. I believe it was April when we bought it, so it's February right now, so we're just shy of 4 years. 4 years of ownership. So like I said, it's been a good tractor. We've enjoyed using this. It's been good to us. I had one small issue up front, and the dealership took care of it for us without any issues. So we've been happy. Thanks everyone for watching. If you have any questions on the BX, the 2380, drop a comment below. Be happy to answer that. Any questions on how we use it or what it's done for us. I've definitely put it on a few attachments that it was not intended for, just to see if it would handle it. I've put it on the 6-foot box blade. It handles that fairly well. It would not be able to have the scare fires fully engaged in the ground or anything like that, but moving some loose dirt, it does well. Gets a little light in the front when you pick it up, but it handles the 6-foot box blade. And I've actually hooked it to the 6-foot rotary cutter. Have not hooked the top link up because I don't expect it to lift the whole rotary cutter. It's much too heavy, but just the 2 lower links, it'll lift it, and it runs in, say, 1 foot tall or so grass. It'll run the 6-foot rotary cutter. Again, I wouldn't do something like that all the time. That's too much for it, but just to see if it would do it, it handled it surprisingly well. So, but yeah, if anyone has any questions on it, drop a comment below. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit the like and subscribe button. Thanks.